What's going on, YouTube Nation? This is Darth Dividend. If you guys are new to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. So there's been a lot of negative attention with Johnson & Johnson. And, people have been messaging me, is this a good stock to buy? What's going on with this vaccine? How do vaccines work? Again, I'm not a infectious disease expert, but I can show you how these vaccines somewhat work with antibodies. I'll show you a graph that works with them because a lot of you guys have been all over me about it, asking me, oh my God, what's going on with this issue? But I'm going to emphasize this first with Johnson & Johnson is it is a dividend, great dividend stock, a great stock for investors, a great stock, a growth stock. I would consider that a growth stock. It has increased its dividend over time. It's a juggernaut in the pharmaceutical industry. And one of its biggest products, other than Band-Aids, is actually Tylenol. Tylenol's, you can, when this vaccine's, effective and everybody's vaccinated, these guys are still going to be strong. Now, if you look at Moderna, they're just a pharmaceutical company. What happens if, all these other vaccines or somebody beats them or Pfizer has a better version of them? Johnson & Johnson is going to be the one that's strong. Pfizer is cheap. It's a great stock to buy. But Johnson & Johnson is a juggernaut when it comes to the dividend investing community, people that have retirement accounts, people that have very high amounts in their portfolios. This is it. Look at this, $82.58 billion this company has made, So a vaccine that just is pulled temporarily is not going to really hurt these guys. And look at them financially, Their revenue has pretty much, their net profit margin. I mean, what is crazy is look at how much their revenue is, 81.6 billion, 82.6 billion, Their net income, is 14.7 billion. Their profit margin is 17.82%. That is very strong as a dividend stock. But I really want to emphasize, this vaccine, as I'll show you in a second, how immune responses happen. There's going to be a small percentage of people that get infected even when they get the vaccine. And I'll show you why and how this is possible. But the big thing is these guys, I really would like to blame the negative attention in the media because one person gets sick and everybody freaks out. This vaccine has been out. It is just, millions and millions of people have received this vaccine. So, the media, people are freaking out about it. There can be a lot of these people who sometimes get these rare disorders, either it just happens being unlucky, because millions and millions of people have been vaccinated, nothing has really happened to them. They have a strong antibody response, which is good. And in the United States, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer are the three vaccines that are out there. Johnson & Johnson's pulled back for a second, but you have two really good dividend stocks right there, Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer, So that's two really good ones. Moderna does not distribute a dividend, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you just one example of what keeps Johnson & Johnson rolling, and that is Tylenol, Unless you have liver issues or you have some weird sensitivity or something with Tylenol, that is one of their biggest pharmaceutical products over the counter, How many people buy Tylenol, every day? Chronic pain, people who have, unfortunately, ulcers or gastrointestinal bleeding because they take non-steroid anti-inflammatories like Advil or naproxen, This has been very good. There's been research with, I'm actually considering once I become a nurse practitioner, looking at going into the geriatric specialty and palliative care. And Tylenol is very well, respected. And, people that have liver issues, liver enzyme issues, that's something to maybe, it wouldn't be a good idea because the problem is when the liver there's cytochrome P450, okay, and that's a detoxifying enzyme for medications and stuff. If that's beat up, your liver is beat up, you're in big trouble, and you don't want to get liver failure or anything, so that can increase your chances of liver failure. But those are really the only people that have issues with Tylenol. So, Tylenol has been out there for a long time. Johnson & Johnson makes a huge profit on that. I mean, I take Tylenol. I'm not really a fan of non-steroid anti-inflammatories because when I strength train and stuff, I do believe in this. I'm not trying to sound like a radical, but non-steroid anti-inflammatories, your process is your healing process when you strength train is, if your body's trying to repair itself, and that's the natural inflammatory response. They call it delayed onset muscle soreness. So if you get sore the next 1 or 2 days, that's a good thing because your body's kind of reacting. Now, if it continues and it's a strain, grade 1, 2, or 3 strain, that's a different story. But I'm just going to tell you, Tylenol has been out there for a long time, and Johnson & Johnson has Band-Aids and stuff. So they're just such a strong company. But let me just show you how antibodies work, okay? And there's temporary antibodies and there's long-term antibodies. So you guys have been really asking me, how do these vaccines work, okay? If you're exposed to something, why are people getting sick? You're asking me, why are people getting sick, right away, after they get the vaccine? And I'll show you that. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I have a disclaimer. I am not an infectious disease expert. I'm just going to read off a graph and show you why, people are getting, this could be a possibility as to why people are getting infected. And this is why these big pharmaceutical companies and vaccine companies tell you after X amount of days, you're rolling. So let me jump to that before you guys even consider, looking into getting vaccinated. I just want to, or if you have questions, I just want to show you this because it's important to understand antibodies and how they're produced and why, X amount of days you're rolling and you have some form of, efficacy or basically, your body's prepared for a virus. Let's just say, for example, COVID-19 virus, okay? So I like to refer to this on the Beckman-Coulter design, okay? It says, what do IgG and IgM tell us, okay? So you have your exposure and then you have the long-term antibodies. So when you get sick, these are kind of like your temporary soldiers, IgM antibodies, okay? And then you have the long-term soldiers, IgG antibodies that are like your sentinels, or like, think of yourself like AT&T, like when somebody opens a door, the alarm comes off, okay? But these guys are like your big sentinels and long-term soldiers that recognize it and go after, the bug. So you get infected, okay, say like you get the vaccine on day 0. Your body slowly starts producing IgM antibodies, temporary antibodies, to like fight off a virus. Let's just say COVID-19 or something. And we have these temporary antibodies. That's why they always say online, people have either IgM antibodies or IgG antibodies. That can really tell you when you have been exposed because IgM antibodies go away over time, okay? IgG, that's why they say by 14 days, that's the kind of like the transition of power where you still have IgM antibodies, but IgG is starting to take over. And then they say after 28 days, you are ready to combat a bug that you have been exposed to. So this is why people, they get sick and it's day 7. They don't have enough antibodies to combat, COVID-19 virus or a virus what they're exposed to. So that's why, these companies are emphasizing day 28, day 21. This is why with Moderna and Pfizer, usually around this time frame, you get vaccine number 2. And I highly encourage you to get the vaccine. I want things to open up, okay? I want people to work. I want things to go back to normal, okay? And it's not going to go back to normal unless one, everybody unfortunately gets infected, or two, we have herd immunity from the vaccine, either from infections and or getting the vaccine. So let's jump to its stock and dividend history real quick. I just want to show you how Johnson & Johnson has done against Pfizer. These are two dividend stocks that one of them I own, one of them I don't own. So Johnson & Johnson has been up 6,991.11% to Pfizer's, okay, $37.04. They're both great companies, okay? I'm going to actually do a collaboration video. I'm actually going to send this to my buddy Ian, and I would like to thank him on that, as I have before. Very solid dividend investor. I mean, he's at about 70,000 subscribers. I cannot wait to see this guy retire and enjoy his dividends as they flow and keep on going. But let's just look at this, okay? These guys are way bigger than Pfizer, okay? Johnson & Johnson has done significantly well against the S&P. I'll show you how it's done. But this is one thing that's very interesting with Johnson & Johnson is it's growing. So as a investor, okay, you're seeing this stock explode and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And you see Pfizer kind of, a little stagnant. So the thing with these two stocks are they have a lot of very strong products, okay? Not just Tylenol. Pfizer, has a lot of products like Lyrica and things for people that are diabetics and people that have nerve pain and stuff. I will send, once, if Ian does another video, I promised him I would do a review on a lot of products and things that I have seen or meds pass as a registered nurse to go over core measures with certain medications and why people need these medications. But Johnson & Johnson, I mean, they are just a juggernaut, okay? I mean, I can keep on going on and on about how many products they have. And Tylenol's their biggest, in my opinion, their biggest product that they have. So what is really cool about Johnson & Johnson is I show you how it's done against the S&P real quick, is that it has completely destroyed the S&P. Now, if you look in the past 5 years, sure, okay, the S&P has beaten it a little bit. In the past year, it has beaten it a little bit. It's beaten it a little bit. But since inception, it has gone up. So, and it has beaten it since inception. So this is a very strong company that has increased its dividend, as I will show you in a second. But this is one, good growth, good history, okay? Has some very good subsidiaries which help it generate income, okay? They have consumer packaged products too, okay? I mean, how many times you get a Band-Aid and it says Johnson & Johnson or baby shampoo that has, that's another one. So it's crazy how big these guys are, okay? And I'm going to go over its dividend history and why at the end I'm going to buy the stock in the future. Time these guys have increased their dividend, okay? This is what we like. Not only are they a quarterly dividend, but it increases dividend over time. Okay, it's $159.69 with a 2.5% dividend yield, annualized dividend yield of $4.04. So you are getting a good bang for your buck with this stock. And this is what I like about them. They're just going to get bigger. Their products are very good. I really think highly of Johnson & Johnson as a company and their products. And there's one thing that has me wonder with Johnson & Johnson. It's not just the vaccine, but this is what I find. I start thinking about things. This may sound like a radical move, but Moderna is just a vaccine company. And what happens when this virus goes? Because my understanding was Moderna wanted to be bought off by a company. eventually, or that they wanted to be bought off. Okay, these guys have enough firepower to actually buy a company like that. I mean, that's how big they are. Now, I don't know if Moderna got too big. I don't know what the board of directors calls, but I like Johnson over Moderna because they have so many products, okay, compared to everyone else. And Johnson, if you put money in it, you're going to get something out of it. I really think Moderna is overvalued. I think you're going to get a good bang for your buck in Johnson. And after this pandemic, you're still going to make income. These guys have increased their dividend in pandemics, their recessions, okay? They have done very well in the past. So, I mean, right here, this is very promising as a company. I would consider them a recession-proof stock because you need stuff you need baby powder, you need baby shampoo, you need all this other stuff. You need Band-Aids, you need Tylenol. If you have a fever, you need Tylenol, or you can take Tylenol to reduce your fever. So they have all this stuff for you as an investor. And that's what I like about this stock. So, it's not going anywhere. This company is not going anywhere. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if they buy a company like Moderna in the future, because mRNA technology could be the way to go with vaccines. But Moderna is very, very powerful right now. Now, when it comes down to all three vaccines, to be honest with you, and you guys have asked me this one before I conclude everything, I would get Moderna's vaccine over Johnson & Johnson. Obviously, the negative press from Johnson & Johnson. The efficacy is a lot better with Moderna versus Pfizer. They're all good stocks. I'm sorry, not good stocks. They're all good vaccines once Johnson & Johnson gets clear again to go. So if you want to be one and done, I'm going to be honest with you. I would want to get a vaccine and be done with it. One and done. That's why they're so popular, and that's why they can help herd immunity very fast, because one and done, one and done, one and done. I mean, they're pumping it out in colleges. In the state of Ohio, Johnson & Johnson was pumping out vaccines at Cincinnati, which is a big college, Ohio State, from my understanding, and a lot of other colleges. So these guys can get a good bang for their buck by just getting the college kids. I mean, I'm be honest with you, thinking from my mindset, I'm in graduate school. I would rather get a one and done and get it over with. Okay, you get it over with. Oh, and if you ask, let's see, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is not a real life poll or anything, but you tell me, okay. Let's just say this. I would rather get a one and done vaccine versus a 2-1, two vaccines, especially when I had a 102.9 fever from Moderna. I had a very strong immune response, but, there's a lot of things that Johnson & Johnson carries. So let me know what you think of this video. I did an in-depth discussion on how these antibodies work. And you guys were asking me, why are people getting infected, after day 4 when they get the vaccine, or day 10? Well, there's your answer with the antibodies. You want IgG memory antibodies. Now, the big thing, too, is T cell response. If you have good T cells and they respond, that's a different story, too. But I had to really emphasize the importance of this with investing, and what, does this vaccine really affect you as being a investor in Johnson & Johnson, and should you buy Johnson & Johnson stock after the vaccine news? My answer is yes. I do not own Johnson & Johnson. I will be buying Johnson & Johnson. I would be crazy not to buy Johnson & Johnson. So I'm just giving you my what I think. Okay, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section what you think of Johnson & Johnson. If it takes a big blow and it's down, you better capitalize. I just told someone today or yesterday at work, I said, if I had $10,000 right now, I'd put it in Johnson Johnson, and I would. If you, let's just say, if I had $10,000, it would be right in that stock right now. That would be, I would, if I had 5 stocks to pick for, if I had $10,000 right now, Johnson Johnson would be one of them. Probably Pepsi would be one of them. Third one would probably be, because you guys asked me that question, Pfizer. Fourth one, I'd probably throw it in O. And the fifth one, I would consider throwing it in. I'd probably do it in EPR properties. It's just eventually, once those guys come back, they're going to be coming back with a vengeance, and it's just so down. That's, again, this is no financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just what I'm thinking of. This is my mindset as things are down. But Johnson & Johnson, leave it alone. Don't sell it. Please don't sell that stock because of negative attention. The media is terrible with this stock, with this company. They'll do anything to get press. Negative. They love negative energy. They love to get a reaction out of people. And I really think that's the reason why Johnson & Johnson had to pull everything. And people got scared, and it's just that's what happened. So let the researchers do their thing. I have a feeling I'll be right back on the market. If it's not, I'll be very surprised. So that's really my 2 cents. Let me know what you think of this video. I hope you enjoyed my presentation on antibodies and why after 21 or 28 days, you're starting to roll. I hope Johnson & Johnson comes back with their vaccine and that they're one and done, because I want people to work. I want people to make money. I got $1,400 for my stimulus, but I really wanted to hook people up. I went out a little bit more to help those people out who are hurting, because, like, for example, like bartenders, I would just walk to my downtown, by my apartment complex, go there, have a few shots and stuff, and hang out with those guys, buy some appetizers. Those people really need it. I'm going to tell you, I spent a decent amount just doing that for the past month. Now I'm going to start being frugal. I was really like, man, I'm throwing this all in my portfolio, but really those guys kind of needed a little bit more. I don't think it was necessary for me to receive that amount of money. I think those people deserved it. So I was being a little generous, but now it's time to really be a little frugal, get my A's in my exams, and go from there. So you guys take care, be safe, and have a good one.